morning to everyone and welcome to another update on the market. For today, I decided to cover British pound versus US dollar. We'll speak about the gold market, crude oil and Bitcoin versus US dollar. I will start with the British pound versus US dollar first. This is something that we spoke about in the previous forecasts, and basically the market's progressing very well. As alerted yesterday and a few days ago, and once we started to clear 11900, 950, it opened the door basically for much higher prices, and we can see basically that pound is trading at 1.2090. But to be honest, I don't see, speaking of the levels from the background, I don't see any spectacular or big resistance or any pivot level until 1.2250, which is still plenty of the space for the pound to go higher, and then the next one will be, I will say, around 1.2600 mark. So plenty of potential short-term speaking for the pound to rise the next period, and it's a strong momentum and strong upside trend in the last couple of weeks, and so far that's a very strong momentum. So watch for buying opportunities on the dips after the pullbacks and on intraday dips. So speaking of the gold market, as I alerted also, for me this was just a natural pullback. It took like 4 days down, and the market just found the support exactly at the recent swing highs. You can see that on the daily time frame around 1730, 1735. That was a low for the gold short-term low, and we can see that market is holding very well today. The key pivot was basically, from my perspective, around 1750. That was a very important mark, and market just building higher lows. So it's a very good sign that we have the buyers in control and potential for this daily time frame to even try to retest 1785 again. So watch for buying opportunities on dips. Speaking of the crude oil is still had a down day yesterday, went to the pin bar territory, so now it's in the pin bar territory here from a few days ago. Key pivot level for the crude oil is at 76 mark. Speaking of the intraday, the key intraday resistance, it's 78 mark. If the price can trade above and sustain above the 78, it can open the door for some rally, and eventually to for the market to rally into the previous day range, or maybe even to go into the territory at 79. From other side, if the market can clear again this tight range here, and if we can clear 76.80, we can open the door for even full retest of this pin bar low at 75.36. And speaking of the Bitcoin versus US dollar, market is basically, we have a 2 days up, and now we have potential flip to the downside. Today we can see that market didn't sustain, didn't hold above 16,750 mark. So market faded basically, and this can open the door for lower prices intraday, maybe even for retest of 16,300 or even 16,000 mark. That'll be all for this update. I hope that you did enjoy. Trade safe as always, and speak to you tomorrow morning.